Hi there. I'm going to be talking about Google Forms as a way of assessing students. I'm sure most of us are familiar with Google Forms. If you are not, well, it's called Google Forms, and you can find it at forms.google.com. Um, Relatively straightforward in that sense. It can be used for a variety a variety of assessments. Obviously pre-assessments. You can use it for during a class, after a unit. Um, it's somewhat limited in that it does we did some stuff on Go Formative where students can maybe draw pictures or record videos as their responses to a question. Google Forms doesn't have a ton of flexibility with how you respond to a question. It's typically just a question and then response, whether that's multiple choice, picking out from a list, giving a short answer, a long answer. But either way, it's still just that typing straight into the computer. There's no pictures that they can draw to answer a question. So that's a little limited. And then that's like, I would maybe use this as for students, maybe third grade and up, students that are a bit more confident in typing answers or, being able to read the questions to a certain extent too. Um, it has a ton of, it's very flexible in how you can access it though. You can use any sort of laptop, it's not limited to Microsoft, Windows, or iOS. You can use it on your phone, again, whether that's iPhone or any other device out there. You can download it and use it offline, but the results, in order for me, the teacher, to see the results, the student has to connect to the internet in order for the results to be uploaded. But they can still, if this was like a take-home assessment, they could download the file at school, go home, do the questions, do the assessment, and then when they come back, it can be, the results can be uploaded. But in that sense, like if you're looking for immediate results, you need to be connected to the internet. Um, so, a little bit of flexibility, little bit of limitation in that sense. You can use it offline, but you can't get the results right away. It is free, but it is a Google company, so there might be some, they might be tracking. I don't know. Who knows? There's not much else to talk about. I mean, I'm going to just jump right into a demonstration with it. One thing that I did learn right before I was doing this demonstration is that you can let respondents upload files to Drive, which basically the way that I've interpreted that is that if I wanted to do an even longer, like put an essay question on here, then students could just upload their doc to the form, and then it would be collected into my Google Drive. So that's a little convenient. Um, but again, at least for me, like since I'm working in a classroom of first graders, that is not something that I would really want to use. That's a little bit more of a complicated process, as opposed to just quickly answering questions. So as you can see, if I were to do this as a pre-assessment, right, I'm teaching a unit on herbivores and carnivores, and I want to know where students are at. How familiar are they with these terms? Um, Maybe some of them even know what they are and can pick out animals that fit into either category. So I can type in here a simple question, is a deer an herbivore, and it gives me a variety of options for an answer. Short answer if I wanted them to, for some reason, type a short answer to a yes or no question. There's also multiple choice, and it's very easy to add options. You literally just click. If I want to get rid of options, I can get rid of it. What is nice is that I can put an image in here. So if is a deer an herbivore, I could perhaps, I mean, again, this is a yes or no, but maybe if I wanted to have them pick an herbivore, you know, choose an herbivore from the following pictures. And I could put a picture of a bear, a wolf, and a deer, and again, still have it be multiple choice, and students would be able to just click, yes, the picture of the deer, that is the herbivore. Um, and that is helpful, right? So even though the students can't respond with a picture, they can still click on a picture. So that again adds to the versatility of this. If I want to add a new question, oh gosh, press the button that says add questions. So you have your little tab over here where import questions. Maybe you've already typed up a pre-assessment in your Google Docs or in another, Microsoft Word or something, and you can just upload the questions. Add some images. So let's see, what would I be able to do? I don't know. I don't really want to add video and add a section. So this would, again, I wouldn't do this for this particular pre-assessment, but if I was doing a longer quiz, a longer test for some reason, maybe I've got all my herbivore questions in section 1 and all my carnivore questions in section 2. Again, I wouldn't use that for the pre-assessment, but maybe you're doing a longer quiz, a longer test. So there you go. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I'm covering everything. So that's about it for my demonstration. Again, it's very easy to use. I really like, they also have this like linear scale a bit. So maybe if I'm doing, letting the students assess me, how do you feel about these questions, and I can label 1 as easy and 5 as hard, and students can, select on a scale from 1 to 5. This was really hard. This was really easy. So that can be helpful for me. I could also, maybe you can add in some math questions in that sense too. Again, if this is for first grade, it would be, maybe you're just kind of looking at find this on the number line. So you've got a lot of different options. The multiple choice grid and checkbox grids are a little funky. Got away from this. But again, so you can see that Google Forms has a variety of options, a variety of ways of presenting questions. It's still a little limited in in how students can respond, but I really like how it can be used on a variety of platforms. It's easily accessible. Many schools today pretty much provide students with either a Gmail of sorts, so they already have a Google account, so they might even be able to make their own Google Forms. They could. So that could even be a sort of project. Maybe you want students to kind of test each other for something. That's just an idea. That's that's not something I'm working on right now. I would use this tool in my classroom. I think that, depending on the age, I think that you could, use it a lot or use it just a little bit. It's very helpful for pre-assessments again. So I can check these responses. Actually, I wonder if I can. So I had a couple of feedback forms that I used for an old project from last semester, and it was really helpful in determining okay, how did everybody feel about this? And when we needed to write a reflection piece, this was really helpful to gather responses, and I can see it as a bar graph, and okay, how many people put down 5, how many people put down 4. I get a little pie chart that breaks it apart, and it's very easy to read with the colors. It collects all of the short answers, so it can be helpful for the students, and it's certainly very helpful for the teacher because the way that they present the responses are it's very easy to read. I don't get confused by the layout. It's simple for me to use. I just jumped right into using it a couple months ago, and it was very easy. You can master using these within 30 to 40 minutes of just kind of clicking around. So that's certainly a strength of it. Like I said, the weaknesses are still just it's limiting in how you can respond. And also you're still counting on students being able to read the questions. So you want to make sure that the way that you ask the questions are clear, and that your answer options are clear and understood. I would not use this for really young kids or kids that are still working on mastering reading. So again, like for my first grade class, I actually probably won't use this as a pre-assessment, but if I were, that was the demonstration. So there's a lot to consider with Google Forms. It's very versatile. It is free, which is a huge boost. And it's easy to use, both as a teacher, it's easy to create, it's easy to read the results. And for a student, it's very simple to just hop in, quickly answer some questions, and move on. There's not a lot of wait time, right? So I would not use it as a tool for younger students like K through 2, but for really any other age, I would absolutely.